Thank you, Coach Jones. And now coming, that'll be the head coach for the Cleveland Panthers, coming off their best season of school history. Mr. Gardner, Gilliand, won't you come and introduce your guys, and appreciate Coach Gilliand, the job that he does. Been around a long time. I know he's looking forward to a great year.
I'd like to start off by thanking Robbie McAlpin, Greg, really all the broadcasting teams, Heritage, for putting this on. You know, again, it's a great opportunity for us to be able to showcase high school football players in our area, and try to get them some exposure. And by exposure, you hear so much talking about high school players getting exposure on trying to get to another level of playing football. I don't in any way mean that. I mean getting exposure for them playing for their high school and for what it means for them to play for their high schools. Greg talking about being around for a while, looking around the room. I think Coach Milwee has left now, but when Coach Milwee was still in the room, 4 of the head coaches that are in the room right now, I have at some point been on a staff with. I've been on a staff with Coach Register. He and I were both babies at that time, really young. Coach Jacobs, when he first came to Aniana, I was on his staff. Coach Milwee, again, like I said, I was with at Pennington in 94 and 95. And then Coach Whaley and I were on a staff for a year together at Boaz, which was a blast getting to know him and to kind of voice kind of what everybody said. We're all thankful to see you here. I'd like to start off by introducing the 2 players that came with me. Hunter, the first one. Hunter, if you would stand up. Hunter's been a 4-year starter for me, and I know when you get at these things where you got players coming and you see these 6'4", 300-pound offensive linemen coming in that turns everybody's head. Hunter has played center and Mike linebacker for me for the last 4 years. Well, this will going into his 4th year, and has been basically a quarterback for us on both sides of the ball. Our center's responsible for calling all of our pass protections, and at Mike linebacker, he makes all the defensive calls. So he's going to be one of those that when he graduates next year, and it feels like he's never going to graduate, but he's going to be one of those when he graduates next year, he's going to be dearly, dearly missed. Go ahead and sit down, Hunter. The other player that I've got with me is Nick Randolph. Stand up, Nick. Coach was talking a while ago about people playing different positions. Nick was one of those that really for 2 years we've kind of used him wherever we needed him. We went into game 1 last year, and Nick was not a starter on either side of the ball. By the time the season was over, he played every snap of offense, every snap of defense, and every snap of special teams. He was one of those classic small school players that really kind of do everything. And we're moving him to running back this year. Our running back that we had last year, our junior running back, he's not playing this year. So we're moving Nick to running back, and if we can keep him healthy, we look for him to do good things. Nick, you can sit down too. Kind of going on what's kind of been echoed throughout the room. Last year, the older that I get in this business, I learned to appreciate years like that more and more. When I was younger, and we had some really good football teams at Pennington in the mid '90s. We had some really good football teams in the mid 2000s at Aniana, and then we've had 2 pretty good years back to back at Cleveland. And as a young coach, a lot of times I wanted to kind of make the seasons a little bit about me and about what I'd done. But the older that I get, the more that I understand, it really doesn't have a whole lot to do with us. It has a whole lot to do with these young guys sitting in the room, and you know how they buy into what you do and how they take what you do in the weight room and on the field and carry it over into Friday nights. And I guess that's been one of the biggest things as far as like learning in my profession. The last 10 years, that's one of the things that I've learned the most. And you know, also learned to be grateful for the time you have, to be grateful for the good seasons that you have. You don't know how many more you've got. Zach talking about being fired up, you know, when you start talking about people, the head coaches in the room, I coached Zach in the mid-2000s at Aniana, but the ends of the seasons get a little bit rougher every year for me. I'm more tired at the end of the season. It seems like a little bit more. By this time of the year, when it starts rolling around, when you're spending a little bit more time on the field, you kind of get re-energized. But I've been very grateful to be around a lot of good coaches, a lot of good players, a lot of the players that are in the room right now, whether they knew it or not. I've watched them play since they were little, playing youth football. Chase, I've watched him play since he was about knee-high, playing youth football. Leonard and Colton, I've never seen play a football game. I've watched them play basketball for several years, but I've never seen them play a football game. But you know, you feel really grateful to get to be around all these guys. The guys at Clay, I've watched them play on television. You know, so it's different for different people. But again, I'd like to thank everybody for doing this and giving us a chance to get these players and everyone some recognition and get the season started off. And on that, I'll close it. If anybody has any questions, I'd be happy to answer them.
Everybody knows that Peyton had such success in this offense. Who replaces him there, and do you guys have to do anything philosophically or schematically different with this group than when you had him at quarterback? I
think we'll probably, don't quote me on this yet, but I think we'll probably throw the ball a little more than what we have maybe the last 2 years. The kid that'll be, if we were playing tomorrow, the kid that'll be our quarterback he'll be a senior also. His name's Caleb Collum, and he has literally been our backup quarterback for the last 3 years. So he's got a great understanding of the offense. The offense won't change. The play calling may change some, but the offense won't change.
How does he spell his name?
Caleb Collum. Caleb Collum. Collum. Yes.
Coach, so much about your offense last year where you averaged over 43 points a game. You allowed 18, which isn't bad in the high school numbers. Defensively, what do you look like this year?
I think we'll have a chance to be better defensively than we were last year. I won't say that about offense yet. Defensively, we've got six starters returning. The only problem with the 6 starters that we've got returning, 3 of the 4, Nick being the only one that I'm the starter returning, we'll be replacing 3 or 4 in the secondary. We try to make all of our adjustments out of the secondary, and that, you know, that'll kind of be a big thing for us, especially early in the season, is replacing the guys that we replaced in the secondary. So I think we'll have a chance to be better. I really think we'll have a chance to be better this year defensively than we were last year. Not sure about offense yet. That kind of remains to be seen. Anyone else? Thank you very much.